In this video, we're going to take a brief look at all of the audio effects in Ableton Live. If you'd like a more comprehensive look at all of the audio effects in Live, check out our Audio Effects Explained pack, which is free on our website. Firstly, we have the Amp plugin. This emulates 7 different guitar amplifiers. Next, we have the Audio Effect Rack. This is used to build our custom effects racks out of multiple effects. Next, we have Auto Filter. This is a fully automatable filter with a variety of different filter types. Next, we've got Auto Pan. This can be used to pan a signal from left to right and enhance the stereo image. If we set the 2 channels in phase, we can use it as a tremolo device. Next, we've got Beat Repeat. This can filter and repeat sections of the signal. Next, we've got Cabinet. This emulates guitar speaker cabinets, and it's often used after the amp effect. Next, we have Chorus. This adds a set of modulated delay lines to thicken a sound and add movement. Next, we've got the compressor, which can be used in Claps View, Transfer Curve View, or Activity View. This can be used to compress transient peaks and reduce the dynamic range of a signal, as well as for sidechaining. Next, we have Corpus. This is used to emulate different resonant objects such as beams, marimbas, strings, membranes, plates, pipes, and tubes. This is very useful for convolving an extra character to a sound. Next, we have the Dynamic Tube. This emulates analog tube saturators and has 3 different saturation curves. This is perfect for adding analog warmth to a signal. Next, we have EQ8. This is an 8-band parametric EQ with variable filters. Next, we have EQ3. This is similar to the EQs found on a DJ mixer with EQ gains and kill switches. Next, we've got Erosion. This degrades the signal using white noise, wide white noise, or a sine wave. Next, we've got the external audio effect. This allows us to wire external audio gear in and out of the same track in Ableton Live. Next, we have the filter delay. This is a set of 3 filters followed by 3 delays, which can be panned and delayed separately. Next, we have flanger, which is a really tight delay with a feedback loop. We can also modulate this with an LFO. We have the frequency shifter. This can come in handy for tuning percussion whilst keeping its timbre. The frequency shifter can also widen or ring modulate a signal. Next, we have gate. This stops audio below a certain threshold reaching the output. This can also be inverted so only the low signal passes through the gate. This can also be used for sidechaining. Next, we have the glue compressor. This is an emulation of a bus compressor and is perfect for gluing signals together on an auxiliary bus, such as a drum track. The glue compressor can also be sidechained. The grain delay is a delay device which chops the audio up into specific grain sizes, then delays, scatters, and pitches them accordingly. This can create some very interesting atmospheres and textures. Next, we have the limiter. This is used to stop a signal exceeding a certain threshold. We can also boost the signal going into the limiter to increase the perceived level. You can think of a limiter as working very similar to a compressor, but the ratio setting is at the highest value, so it's brick wall limiting the signal. Looper is a looping device, allowing us to capture, play, loop, and overdub audio live. Multiband dynamics can be looked at as 3 compressors, each with their separate EQ bands, and 3 expanders, also with 3 separate EQ bands. This is capable of performing upward or downward compression and upward or downward expansion. This can be used to control a track's dynamics, usually at the mixing or mastering stage. It also has sidechaining capabilities. Next, we have overdrive. This is a distortion device capable of warming up, overdriving, or completely distorting a signal. Next, we have phaser. This is used to notch out frequencies in the signal and add a phase shift. Ping pong delay is a delay that bounces from the left to the right channel. Next, we have redux. This is used to emulate bit rate and sample rate reduction, or downsampling, and is capable of heavily degrading a signal. Next, we have resonator. This superimposes resonant timbres onto the signal. These can be tuned to the left, right, or central channels. Next, we have reverb. This is used to place our sounds within a space to make them sound more realistic. Saturator allows us to saturate or wave shape the signal. This can add more harmonics, warmth, and distortion, and make things easier to hear. Simple delay is 2 separate delays on the left and right channels. These can be linked together or controlled separately in milliseconds or by the track's tempo. Spectrum is a spectrum analyzer, which allows us to see the frequency and pitch of our signal, as well as harmonic content. Tuner allows us to tune monophonic sounds to a certain pitch or frequency. Utility can be used for muting or changing the gain of a track, as well as panning or inverting the phase. We can also reduce or increase the stereo image of a signal. Next we have vinyl distortion. This emulates the distortion from vinyl records, such as clicks, crackles, pops and hiss. Finally we have the vocoder, which can be used to vocode instruments or vocals, as well as add timbres to instruments. As you can see, all of these effects come with plenty of presets. If you're unsure how these effects work, then try out a few presets, and alter or customise the ones that sound close to the effect that you're after. You can also save your custom presets. It's important that in between these videos you take your time to practice and familiarise yourself with all these different effects.